Hey guys, Rexasaur here and welcome to World of Tanks, where today we'll be reviewing the T28, the Tier 8 American non-turreted tank destroyer, which is part of the non-turreted tank destroyer line, which I totally skipped, because T28 prototype to T28. And yeah, so I can't really tell you much about these tanks because I never played them, and I don't intend to really. I might, maybe, but I doubt it. But yeah, so the T28 is, yeah, it's very different to the T28 prototype. The only thing they share in common is the top gun, but even then there are significant differences. The T28 is it's got two potential major roles in a battle. It's either a support platform with a very high rate of fire gun, which can dish out damage again and again and again and again, or it's a assault tank. It's one that gets up in people's faces and fucks everyone up. This is because of the 254 front armor, which can really just destroy, well, not destroy, the opposite, destroy, which can protect it from pretty much any tank in the game that isn't tier 9 and above. But even tier 9 tanks have difficulty penning this, so it's pretty good. And let's go for the stats of the thing. 1150, this is quite low for a tier 8 tank destroyer, since the average is pretty high. If we look at the ISU, okay, never mind. ISU has the lowest, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty low. If we look at, well, I know it's lower than the 15, that's got 1500 also. Where is the, there they are. The Borsig and the three of them. This one has, oh, okay, it's got more than the Borsig. Okay, maybe not. Okay, no, okay, I was completely mistaken. It's got pretty much average. Ferdinand has the most. Okay, well, I do apologize for that mistake. It just seems pretty low for me because it is pretty low in battle when you think about it. This is most of the time not enough to save you from 3 shots from tier 8 heavies. Tier 8 heavies will really ruin your day if they hit you 3 times. But you sort of have to take the shots because that's what you are. You're a tank which will take as many shots as you possibly can to dodge, block, and wave around like a awesome person. Weight, it weighs a lot. That's pretty much all I have to say. Ramming people is fun, but you won't get to that stage very often. Engine power is pretty poor considering the weight, so your speed limit is 18 kilometers an hour. You will increase that to about 20, 21 when pushed downhill. Yeah, this tank needs to be pushed a lot, but that said, it's not too bad. Oh god, little frame rate jump there. As we went, hull armor is horrendously good. This is not entirely true though. This is about 250 or 240 or 220 something. This here is 254, right there, and you will bounce everything that goes there because it's also angled, which is just mental. However, if people shoot at you, and they will, and this will help everyone who is shooting at you, cupolas are incredibly weak. The top of the tank itself, all of this is incredibly weak. And one of the biggest nemesis of this tank is artillery. As soon as arty hits you on the top, you will lose full damage from it. And my nemesis in this tank has to be the FE304, the Burt, because it just gets an arc so easily, so down into you, and you can't run away because you've only got 18 kilometers an hour speed limit. It's ridiculous. Gun traverse 26 is pretty good, but your hull traverse is only 20, so that's not so good. You turn around very slowly, and you will get like rear-ended, flanked, and whatnot by light tanks. Light tanks are the bane of this tank. View range 370, it's not incredible. I do not have binocs. I do not play this as a long-range support tank, although it can be done very, very easily. Signal range pretty good, but whatever. Now let's look at the gun. The gun is exactly the same as the T28's prototypes, which is fantastic. It's a fantastic gun. We've been through it before if you watch my T20 prototype video, but the rate of fire on this is significantly increased, as well as the aiming time. This thing has a 7.8 second reload, or is it 7.6? It's 7.6 to 7.8 second reload. It is incredibly fast. 400 average damage with with 248 pen. Now the great thing about 428 pen is that you can actually go through the bottom plate of a T28. Yeah, exactly. So coming up against T28s, if you're not angled, you're gonna take damage unless of course they go for your top section. You should always go for the bottom section because even even angled, it's quite hard to bounce. But the way you should play this tank when trying to bounce, say you're coming up across an enemy, you should move your tank left and right like this whilst you're reloading. You don't have to do it for long because you've only got a 7.6-second reload. So you're just like, shoot, no, bounce, it's quite funny. Also, moving your tank, your gun up like into that angle to protect your cupolas and turning around is really helpful because these cupolas are weak, but they do still bounce if coming across on an angle because that's how the game works. So yeah, research-wise, one of the most annoying things is that you need the tracks to get the top gun. This is something you'll see throughout the whole line, I found out, because if I look at the T95, I can't get this top gun without the tracks, which is going to be substantially awesome. Not. So you're going to have to use this gun at first. I didn't at all. I just put on enhanced suspension, which is 500,000, so it's really expensive, but you know, it's kind of necessary. Other things I have in this tank, I have a spore liner to protect me from splash damage, because this tank will take a lot of splash damage if artillery misses. If it hits you, you're screwed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Also protects me from ramming, should it happen. And a gun rammer, because fucking 7.6-second reload with a gun rammer. And a third slot, I don't know what I've got. I don't have anything, to be honest. That's probably why there's nothing there. I wouldn't really recommend a gun lane drive, because it's kind of useless. Maybe an improved ventilation class. Maybe. You rarely take any kind of damage except engine. Engine and fuel tank damage are the only two kinds of damage you will ever take on this tank. You rarely use your... okay, you lose the gun quite often as well if people shoot you there and get your gun. But the engine is something... because the engine is there. If they penetrate through, you will take engine damage. You will be set on fire. You will get absolutely screwed. Fuel tanks are on the sides here, so you will also take damage from there. So that is a warning. Be careful, you will be set on fire, because the engine is in the front and the fuel tank's in the side rear, which is one of the weak points. When shooting at the side of a T28, I would recommend either shooting here or shooting here. There, right, this place here, not there, this place here, because this plate here is actually spaced armor. All of that is spaced, which is ridiculous when you're trying to shoot at it. Of course, it's only 50 hull armor anyway, so the space armor isn't huge. But things like the 122s, the one with 175 pen, or the 100 mils from all the mediums, will fail to penetrate the side of a T28 if you're going to shoot through that. That said, this is at quite, 100 meters or more range, because anything closer you will pen through that really, really easily. So that's the T28. I will show you 2 replays from my games, and yeah, so I shall see you in those replays. Okay, so here we are on the first replay on the T28. We are top tier-ish, very, very tier 8 game with some very poor tier 6s in it. This is a long-range support game. This will show you the potential of using the tank as a long-range support TD, much like the Borsig, or the Borsig that I use is compared to, or the ISU for that matter, but the Borsig is really the closest representation of what I'm using this tank as right now. As you know, I don't have camo or binocs, because my intention wasn't to do long-range support. This sort of came as a secondary happenings because of how the tanks were all done and positioned and all that. So first off, a leopard comes down the middle. I'm hoping not to get spotted because of TD. Put a shot into him and I get spotted, and I'm like, well, I'm fucked now, because they have a Burt and they have an FE206. I'm going to try and put a shot, and I totally fluffed that one up, because the traverse speed on this tank is good, but the gun traverse, the actual traverse, is pretty terrible. It's only good at long range. So I'm planning to go through the middle, maybe get that leopard, and then I'm like, no, that's actually a terrible idea, especially since there's a Tiger 2 up there, which I can't get. So I'm just going to go with our Hellcat and Tiger 2 is. As you can see, a lot of the enemy are down south. They're on the FGH0 line, and they're going up on the hill. And this can be a bitch. Like right now I get spotted because of the AMX 5100 on the hill. And then, I don't know, he doesn't shoot at me, so I'm not really worried, but I'm kind of like, artillery's going to get me, artillery's going to get me. So I'm moving as fast as I can, which is 18 kilometers an hour, and try and get myself behind this rock. Tiger 2 is once again spotted. No one's taking any damage. We have a Tiger 2 and a Hellcat. I'm like, well, they can probably take care of him. So I'm going to turn my tank around, which is something I never do. I never go up here, and usually there's a rush on the enemy team. So originally my plan is to go for that Tiger 2, and I see that the Hellcat's done damage to him, so I'm like, you know what, they've probably got this. So I'm going to sort of turn my tank around. I'm going to, well, first I'm going to see if I can get this Tiger 2, and I see that I can actually get this guy on the hill, so I'm like, oh, I might go over here and shoot this guy, and then he comes unspotted, so I'm like, oh well, never mind. Try and get this T28 the Super Pershing. As you can, you can't see the outline because replays are bugged, except for there, which you can definitely see the outline, and that guy's going to be absolutely destroyed by me. I don't know how I can see those, to be honest, but I can, and I'm pretty happy about it. Got a shot into him, quite a low roll. The Hellcat gets killed on our team by a Super Pershing, not by the Tiger 2. Or unless we had two Hellcat. No, we didn't. There's an AMX 12T as well. He's going to come around, but he's going to go into their base and sort of screw people up. There's the T69, who's about to say bye bye, bye bye.
They're knocked out.
I'm of course playing with Daimyo in his T44.
Enemy is hit.
I hit the 5100, doing more damage. There's the Super Pershing. He's going to do something. I don't know if that's his rear or his front or whatever. Doesn't matter.
Enemy
He's
vehicle
dead.
destroyed.
I am doing quite a lot of long range support now. It's pretty. I don't know. It works. As you can see, the accuracy isn't incredible, but it's still substantially good. Now this little guy is a total bitch. I can only see a tiny corner of his tank, which doesn't show there, as you can see. Tiny corner of his tank. So I can potentially get him, but not really. And the 12T is getting to him, and my shots keep going high or low, sideways, you know the gist. But I'm going to put one last shot into him and kill stream from the 12T. I think he'd used all his thing. Now, my original plan was to go to the Tiger 2 and go around. Then I'm like, wait, no, we've got totally outflanked. I'm going to have to go back to base because there is no way I can do this. And I'm like, why is our Tiger 2 not moving forward? But whatever, it doesn't matter. So this Tiger 2 is already going to destroy. There's the enemy artillery. 12T is going to take care of him, hopefully. We've lost our artillery. Our Tiger 2 that was behind with me, there we go, is going to move forward and try and spot them. He's not a very good player. He isn't part of a clan. That's not how I judge people's skills, but usually at this tier, if you're not part of a clan, then you're probably a new player or a unicum most of the time, and most of the time it's a new player. So these three heavies right now, I can only see a tiny tip of the guy's turret, but they're hull down right now because of the lip of the hill. I've missed a few shots now. KV1S is on his way up. He gets disappeared. I'm going to put a random shot into him. Boom. Don't know if I hit him. There's the IS-3. He's going to move behind the hill. Or rock, I should say, not hill. Tiny rock. Now right now I'm hoping that we don't get flanked by the Tiger 2, because that would be the worst thing that could ever happen. Put a shot into the IS-3. I haven't been spotted. I do have almost full camo on this crew, I think. It's either that or full repairs. Which does increase your camo rating substantially. IS-3 is going to put another turn.
Enemy is
Boom.
hit.
Now this tank has so much penetration that you are able, I should be able to kill this guy next shot, but I do a very low roll. But yeah, no. You have enough penetration to go through the pike nose of an IS-3. Like the IS-3 can be piked and it will be fine. This is the biggest mistake I probably do this game. I shoot like at the IS-3 rather than wait for me to see that he was there, because I thought he was going to pop around again, but he didn't. So the KV-1S is there. Try and put a shot into the Super Pershing. I think I missed my second shot on into him. I don't know, actually he might have been full health. Our Tiger 2 dies. KV-1S is there. Put a shot into him, put a shot into the Super Pershing instead. I kind of want him to die. We are getting capped, and ultimately that will be our downfall, the fact that we are being capped. Instead, the Hummel on our team, right, total retarded idiot, didn't do anything. He didn't try and go back to try and kill, to try and uncap or anything. I don't know what he was doing with his life. But yeah, I don't know. It really frustrates me when some players just don't understand what they need to do to win a game. Bounce, boom. As you can see, bottom plate of this tank, really strong. Try and put a shot into the IS-3, and he moves back, so I can't actually get him. Engine gets wrecked. Going to move up. I need to get back to base. The Panther 2 is going as fast as he can. He managed to clear off all the enemies behind him, except for the Tiger 2, which was on our flank, and moved back to his base. Sadly, however, it will not be able to cap. The Hummel just didn't do any blind shots or anything. It was ridiculous. And I don't get a top gun. I only get 5 kills because I missed that IS-3 shot, which was a bitch. So the Panther's gonna get him. But yeah, so yeah, that was that replay. So let's go look at the results screen. Okay guys, this is the results screen. Got ourselves like a high caliber and a first class mastery with about 1100 XP. Did nearly 5,000 damage, doing a lot of damage then, coming up top with 5 kills. And of the 23 shots I hit, only 14 really got, well, hit, believe it or not. So now let's go up to the next replay. Okay guys, here is the second replay. I am platooned with Nimbus from Cirque 2. And this is on Comarin, the new Comarin. I actually do like this map, I'm not going to lie. The tactics haven't really changed, but the map is much more enjoyable because there's less camping to some extent, and it's easier to push without getting destroyed for pushing, really. You can push much better. A bit like Redshire. Redshire was also improved in this kind of same context of before it would be a campy map, but now you can push without being punished for pushing. So I am going to go into the 9 line because that is what I do. Nimbus is in his Panther 2, will be supporting me in this role, and we're going to do a lot of damage. Hopefully. If we don't, I'm going to be pissed. I'm just moving up now. This tank is pretty slow, not going to lie. I'm going to put a blind shot through here, try and hit something, or just lag out, whatever, you know. So you can do that as well. Stupid game. Moving forward. Now, the enemy seems to have pushed vigorously onto the mountain, or hill, I should say. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for us because of this new added hill right here, which will protect us from it, which is fantastic. We are pushing up with an IS. A lot of our heavies are still camping in our spawn, which is kind of annoying. And here we go. So first off, we see one of the little scouts. There's a T28 actually. I'm going to put a shot into him. I'm going to track him in place. He is going to repair it and run away. Doesn't want to get shot again. This is the same tactic that should have been used by this T34 I just bounced. Because right now,
Enemy armor is hit.
I don't think I tracked him there. I think I just hurt his engine a bit. he's going to stay still, and I'm going to put a shot into him.
Enemy armor is damaged.
And then I'm going to turn myself around. As you can see, I'm using my gun as cover. There we go. Bounce from him. I'm going to put a shot into
Enemy is
him.
hit.
Track him in place. As you can see, he's still tracked.
They're knocked
There you
out.
go. 1500 damage straight away. It might be 1600. I don't really remember how much health they got in total. 16. Is it 15 or 16? Can't see from the combat ball. It doesn't really matter. I killed it. So yeah, rate of fire pretty good. Did that in quite rapid fashion. So I'm going to move up now. There is a spotted IS and AMX 12T to our left, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. 12T is now behind us, and I'm like, oh shit, help, 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 help. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Enemy vehicle
Kill him.
destroyed.
And because the 12T can really wreck you with its auto-loader. I take a shot in my side.
Captured. We're low on
It
fuel.
can really wreck you, but I don't know, you shouldn't have gone for me. There's a T29. Sadly, my depression does not manage to do anything, but I do put a shot on him and my way down. That was pretty lucky. I'm going to try and get his tracks, but he doesn't. He reloads in time. This guy, Jesus Christ, this guy pretty much wrecks me.
One of our tracks is damaged.
But he could have wrecked me, but he didn't. Nimbus puts a shot into him and finishes him off. Bounces on my side. As you can see, my fuel tanks are damaged from it though. That might have been from the 12T though, or whatever shot me before. I can't remember. Now,
We've lost a track.
the T69 uses heat on my...
Neutralized. Penetration.
There we go, pen me. I was going to say, well, when he does pen me. No, he gets my track.
Enemy armor is
He gets my
destroyed.
track, and then RT gets me.
This vehicle
He gets
is
my
hit.
track, and as you can see, I was waving back and forth to try and prevent him from getting my track, but he does manage to, but that sort of puts him off. Now it's time for Nimbus to get him really fast. Then he gets my track, so I repair it. Bounces on me because I'm coming at an angle. I push onto him. He pens me. He tracks me and then pens me, I think. It's good. Nimbus gets 1 damage on that guy. By the way, just to tell you. What else is happening? Yeah, so, and then I get raped by artillery. First the Crusader SP, which doesn't do much damage, and then the Lorraine, who completely destroys me. Artillery is your nemesis. If you get hit, you will be destroyed by artillery. That's the only reason I died in that, was because artillery managed to get a shot into my rear, which is one of the big dangers of the tank. You got to get yourself into cover, or you got to get yourself into a game without artillery. If you're not in cover, you will be targeted because you are slow, which means artillery does not need to really overextend its aim to try and guess where you'll be, because you're not going to be very far because you only go 18 kilometers an hour. And if someone's pushing you, then you can just aim in front of you. If you're too slow, he'll hit you. If you're slightly faster, he'll hit the guy behind you who's pushing you. So T28, just like the T20 prototype, is one of those tanks you want to get really far away from artillery, but it's one of those tanks that punishes everyone with the gun that it's in. As you saw, I just very, very quickly took out a T34. He only got 2 shots where I got 4 in. That is ridiculously fast. It's not overpowered. It's definitely not overpowered. But it's really, 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 really nice to have that kind of DPM in that kind of tank. So let's look at the results screen. I will tell you my final final opinion on the tank. Here's the results screen. Doing less XP than the last game and only a 2nd class. It's not really an amazing game, but it was still, you know, it was a game where you did a lot of damage. You showed the potential of the tank playing as a team, as an offensive position, and that's really what I wanted to show you with that replay. Now I'm not going to go into the whole thing again, but T20 prototype, yes, I would definitely recommend it. It's an amazing tank, and the T95 is going to be awesome as well, and I can't wait to play it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.